Good afternoon, everybody. Lee the Dorset Spur back with my match reaction to the win against Manchester City last night. Wow. Listen, as a man of a certain age, I have to take certain medication. And one of those medications is blood pressure tablets. And I have to tell you, watching Tottenham is not great. He's not great for blood pressure. Thank God I'm on these blood pressure tablets because I don't know where I'd be without them. I think I'd probably be rolling around on the floor with my with blood pumping out my ears. Um, but listen, I take it all day long. After the reaction of the Crystal Palace game, where we played absolutely terribly and got deservedly beaten, you have to take the positives when a positive comes along. I predicted a 2-1 win, so I got the score spot on, which helps me in the prediction league with Dave the Irish Hotspur. But at the same time as that, it was probably more in hope than expectation. I've got to be honest. But you just never know. I never believed that Pep was going to put out a really, really weak side, and that was not a weak side. There was some changes in there, but listen, when you've got Phil Foden playing and Ake playing and players of that kind of ilk, you kind of know that it's never going to be an easy game. It's never going to be an easy game. And I'm going to just say now, right from the very off, Man City were excellent. You could see that they could literally go up the gears, and we were hanging on for dear life for the majority of that game, right? But ultimately, I'll take the win. I'll take the win. I want to see good football. I want to see attacking football. I want to see quick passing, good pressing, and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, I still want to see us win. And that's kind of part of the difficult balance that Ange Postecoglou has to get right. He's all about the style, which is fine, but you've still got to have enough in your locker to be able to turn that style into a win and know when to hold. Has that something? Know when to hold 'em, know when to show 'em, know when to run. You know the one. So, listen, like I've said before, when we get a poor result and we lose, absolutely have the right to be critical, to call out what's not going well, to talk about players who are not playing well, and all that kind of stuff. But when we win, just take it. Just take it. Enjoy it because it's not guaranteed. It never is. It's never guaranteed. We lost to a club right at the bottom of the Premier League, but we've beaten the team right at the top of the Premier League. It's just football. It's just the way it goes. It's not just Tottenham. I know we all say, "Oh, that's Tottenham. It's what we do, mate." But it's not. Sometimes you get the rub of the green. Sometimes results go your way, and when they go your way, you've got to take it. And that's just how I feel. Um, I was looking at the to start off with. I was looking at the starting 11, and to be fair, I was pleasantly surprised because I felt that there is still a fair bit of quality in there. It wasn't the full range of changes. We've got Vicario in there, you've got Romero in there, you've got Van der Ven in there, you've got Bentancur, you've got Kulu, you've got Johnson, you've got Solanke. All of those players you would consider as part of our strongest team. Um, Obviously, Gray, I thought would probably get the nod. Dragushin, I was surprised to see Van der Ven going out on the left because I did expect Dragushin to come in, um, but I thought he would come in for Van der Ven, if I'm honest, which he did. But then I was expecting Udogi to be on the left as opposed to Van der Ven. Sarr, I thought made sense, someone who can kind of break up the play and be that holding person. Um, Kulu, yeah, without Madison, I'm not sure that that's working as well as we'd like it to. Two number tens. Um, Solanke, yeah, I got that. I did think maybe Richarlison might get a little bit of a nod there, but happier to see Solanke in there. And of course, Timo Werner, there was a collective when he was announced because obviously he's been playing so poorly. and not getting in, not doing what he needs to do. But we are limited in that space with Odegaard now having a significant injury, and Son still not ready to play. Hopefully, he'll be back for the weekend. Kind of made sense. Mikey Moore against the champions, having just played the last two games, you can kind of see where he was going, and limited for choices. So for me, I kind of felt, well, that's not so bad. I was kind of expecting, worse than that. So I was quite happy with it. And of course, what happens is that we get Timo Werner's first goal, and what a goal it was! What a goal it was! It was sublime. Absolutely, didn't have to think about it. It's all about the cross from Kulu, who put that in just perfectly, with the defender running out at him. He Timo did not have any um, need to think about it or to do anything different. He just had to hit it well, connect with it well, and of course the rest is history. And I, for one, was absolutely over the moon. And to hear the roar of the crowd when he scored, and the cheering for the guy, to really cheer him on, I thought was fantastic. Brilliant to see, absolutely brilliant to see. Now I was going to watch it on my IPTV, but it wasn't working. Typical. So I decided, against my better judgment, to go round to the club where it's quite partisan, and to watch with some of my friend, my son, and a few of the other guys. Now, when that goal went in, I have to tell you, I wish I'd had my phone out. I wish I'd had my phone out, because it was mayhem. Jono, I'm going to call him out. Jono, he's a big fan of Timo Werner. Big fan of Timo Werner. He's always singing his praises. He's always been staunch. Timo is a good player. He can do it. And he was literally running around the club, shirt off, doing this. Now, the club does have CCTV, and if I can get a video of that CCTV, I will absolutely be posting it. But just for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to share this picture. This was Jono, uh, straight after the game. Um, and doesn't he look a little bit like Timo Werner? Do we not think he looks a little bit like Timo Werner? But he was absolutely over the moon, and fair play for him. I was chuffed for him, because it takes the pressure off him a little bit. It takes that little bit of pressure away, and makes him feel vindicated. Um, so yeah, really good to see. Lots of other stuff to kind of pick up in the game. Um, Van der Ven injury, like, I have to talk about that. He looked absolutely distraught coming off. He was almost in tears. He was biting his shirt. He was banging his head. He looked really upset, and I can kind of really understand why he would feel like that, because he wanted to be part of that thing. But it also kind of looks like that could be a bad one, which is a really difficult one. And it kind of begged the question. I wrote it down. I've got some notes, and I wrote it down. Is that why Ange has been reluctant to play him in that left wing back position, because of the demands and everything else? I don't know. But we'll see. Fortunately, we have got Dragushin, who, in my view, I actually wrote it down. I thought he could have been our man of the match. I know Kulu was brilliant as well, but Kulu has been brilliant every match. But for Dragushin to come in after the criticism of getting sent off, against Carabao, I thought he had a really good, strong, solid game, and played really well. So with Mickey van der Ven being out, maybe, I'm confident that we've got someone in there who can hold that spot more than we have had previously. But what it does do is it does leave us one injury to Udogie away from Ben Davies as that inverted wing back again, which kind of worries me. Unless Jed Spence can get back from injury, or Archie Gray can kind of play on that side, But again, big miss. Mickey van der Ven is absolute quality, and any team any team that had him in their squad and then lost him would really, really suffer for it. Um, the next thing I've got to pick up, I wrote about was Pap Sarr. What a goal! What a goal! Another fantastic strike from outside the box. Well worked. Timo Werner to Kulu to the outside of the box, and a perfectly struck ball starts off on the outside of the goal and arches just inside. And man, what a goal was, and fantastic to see, fantastic to see. And we did have other chances. We did have other chances in that first half. Timo Werner with a one-on-one that kind of just on the outside. It looked worse when you saw it first time. It looked like it went well wide, but it didn't. It was actually really, really close. You're talking a matter of inches, and that would have been another goal. Um, from a negative point of view, Archie Gray, I thought he got absolutely rinsed down that right hand side by Nunez, I want to say. He was under pressure the whole game. The whole game, he was kind of out there. And of course, him and Johnson get caught into the middle just in those, was it 4 minutes or whatever it was of added time, last 30 seconds. If only we could have got out of that first half 2-0 up. I do feel that it would have been a lot easier match to watch towards the end. But we got sucked in there as we do, and then lo and behold, they pop up with a goal at that back post, and we're getting caught there so often. It's just so frustrating that we kind of drift in like that without looking at that player behind us. Couple of other bits that I kind of just wanted to talk about. Um, I've seen that it was Udogi who kicked one off the line. I thought it was Basuma. I haven't watched it back, so I'm not sure. But um, the ball where Vicario comes out flapping around like an angry bird. What is that guy doing there? Like, unbelievable. He comes flapping out like that, and of course, um, the ball's put right in, and I'm pretty sure it was Bissouma. Just gets his foot to it, plays it off the line, and saves our asses. Because we were just hanging on at this point. And it pretty much felt like that for the whole of the second half. It felt like the longest 45 minutes of my life, watching it just wave after wave after wave of attack, and us kind of soaking up that pressure and soaking up that pressure. And I just at one point I'm like, we've got a highish line, and our midfield is like just so close. They're just right up against each other. And I was just like, it's a matter of time before that second one goes in, and then we're into penalties, and it's a lottery as to what's going to happen on that. But listen, at the end of the day, we hung on. We hung on till the end. We showed some grit and some determination, and we just kept on going. We got some substitutes. I'm a bit disappointed. Timo Werner did have to go off. Looked like a groin injury. I'm not sure whether that's a particularly difficult one. Um, Romero went off and Davis come on. I was a bit concerned at that point, but again, Davis didn't put a foot wrong. Kept it going. Um, Richarlison came on. Mikey Moore come on. Didn't really see too much from them. There was a great opportunity where City had kind of took a throw in and threw it back towards the goalkeeper. Richie jumped on it, and if he'd only had a little bit of composure of playing at one side or the other of the keeper, we were then cruising. We'd have been in la la land, because that was a great opportunity if we'd have put that away. So that's a really, really disappointing one. But yeah, he doesn't look as if he's back to his self yet. Let's hope that it's just a matter of time before he can start really, really contributing. I wanted to talk as well about Solanke, who I know has been getting a little bit of stick, but actually you cannot fault his running and his work rate and his strength. He just put so much into it, and he looked dead on his feet at the end of that game. So for me, whether he's injured or whether he's carrying something or whether he's just knackered, I don't know. But you have to say, there could be a lot of changes for the game against Villa at the weekend, which is a little bit worrying. A little bit worrying. But listen, you've got to take your chances, and you've got to do what needs to be done. The final thing I kind of wanted to just touch on um, was the atmosphere last night. I have to tell you, from a TV point of view, it sounded electric. It sounded fantastic. The crowd was singing the whole way through, and that was inspiring to see that, because the atmosphere in new stadiums is difficult. It's difficult, especially midweek when you've got you know not necessarily all the fans that you would normally have there. But it did look pretty full to be fair. So I don't know whether we did sell out for that game or what, but it looked electric, and I have to say that I wish I'd have been there. I'd have loved to have been there, but midweek games is just a nightmare. So anyway, look, so still some big teams in it, and of course we've now drawn Man United. Lots of fans will be like, "Well, that's a good draw. That's great, Man United. We've beaten before. We can beat them again." It's not going to be easy. They're going to have a new manager. They'll have the new manager bounce. They smashed Leicester 5-2, I think it was 5-2, 5-3, 5-2, I think. Um, and so that's not going to be an easy game. But listen, you've got Newcastle in there, you've got Arsenal in there, you've got Liverpool in there, Man United. So there's some big teams in there. So you're always gonna pick one. And good to see Crystal Palace get another win. This really terrible team that we lost against, um, marching through. I think Villa they were playing, I think, and they got through. So listen, of course Arsenal were going to pick them up, because yeah, of course they do, get the so-called easier draws. But listen, if you want to win this competition, you've got to beat those around you. So looks like if we can get past Man United, I'm going to put my money on us getting Arsenal in the semis, and Liverpool. Obviously, I think that they'll probably end up with Newcastle or someone like that. So I think it will still be the fairly big teams in it, but you've got to beat them if you want to win the competition. And as it stands, the Carabao Cup is probably the least impressive competition to win. But if you win it, you win it. It's the start of something. You can only then build on it from there. Fingers crossed, and we'll see where it takes us. I have done a video about have your say. If you can have a look, that side, that side. How do I do it? How do I do it? There. There, you'll see my little tag of have your say. I have put a little video together asking if you've got an opinion that you want to share and you want to share it on video. You can email that to me at lee@gmail.com, or if you've got my number, you can just WhatsApp it to me. And I'll put those out, people's match reactions and people's opinions, good or bad. I won't interfere with them. I won't change them. And depending on how many I get, we maybe do some comments on it, or some kind of view of what you're saying. Yeah, but feel free to do that if you want to do that. It's not obligatory. We'll see what comes of it. I just want to encourage the people that watch my videos to say how they feel and what they want to do. I do get lots of comments from people, which I do try to read and comment back on. And it's always good to get other people's opinions on these things, because I might be talking total rubbish. So, but anyway, listen, I'm going to enjoy the win. I'll take it all day long. We march on to the next round. Man United next. Hopefully we can beat them, and we'll see where it takes us. We're within sniffing distance, and we're further than we've been in the Carabao Cup for a very, very long time. So let's take it. Let's hope that this is the start of something, and we move on forward. I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. As always, up the Spurs.